Hey guys, welcome back to MODO here. Today we're going to be working on how to generate a box, how to build a box for packaging and texturing it and all. Um, on, um, this is actually a realistic looking package. So it's not, when people think of a box, it's just like how hard can it be to build a box in 3D? And to be quite honest, if you're just building a cube or a square or just something that is a flat cube, yeah, that doesn't take a lot of time to generate. But when you're building a package, and a package in 3D package design with a die line, specific die line, each die line is different. And I mean, I know a lot of them are rectangle, square, or they have different die cuts and so on and so forth. So this in this particular one, we're gonna get sort of like a standard box and show you how it's built properly so that it looks super real on 3D. Now keep in mind this particular project is really not an easy one. It's really advanced, but I figure I will do it anyway. And sometimes the best way to actually learn these ones are by repetition. And I think it's going to be very useful for you guys since you guys are in packaging. You'll be able to learn and master how to build a really nice shift, slick looking box and map your graphics or your designs and make it look like a photo shoot, and this is what this is right here. So with that said, let's just get started. I just want to show you some of the steps, and this is probably going to be, it's going to go, I'm building the tutorial like this is one. It's going to be probably several parts on this. The first part is just going to go, is going to show you like this particular part right here is going to go probably 30 minutes, and what we're going to basically do is just talk about how to prepare the files, how to organize things, how to work from a die line, how to bring a die line in, which we've been doing for other things, and how to start the modeling process. The modeling process is what's the crucial part in here because everything has got to be folded just right. But with that due, let's just get started, and then we'll go as slow as we can on this, and it's probably going to be 2 or 3 videos before we get this going. All right. So let's just go into Illustrator real quick and I'll show you the art. This is actually a package design I created for Sogar, which is part of Nature's Bounty line of products. I designed this for them probably like, I would say like 5-6 years ago. I can't remember. I notice I'm missing the font here. This is not gonna show up on this package anyway. We're just gonna focus on the front. So this is the flat of everything. I mean, I have the Illustrator file as well, but I figured just I'm providing you with the flat, which is what we're gonna be using. And then how this is applied in the actual box. Like I generated a simplified version of the actual structure, which is actually the structure that was actually produced. So if I turn the art off, you'll see the fold. You see how the box is built and everything. And I simplify this as much as I can for a reason. And it's just so that we could actually manage to work on this together. So here we go. Like if you zoom up here, there's a step here and there's a step on this side and in here, and so these things are because when we build in the box in 3D, this lip, this piece here, this whole entire side has to fold in, and this has to fold in there. You know how the boxes work. This folds in, that folds in, the right and left side will fold in, and the little gap in between is just going to give you enough time to, as the box is bending, you're going to have a little bit of a radius there, so it just gives you a little bit of space to bend this over without hitting this side. And then the same thing with the top here. This is just going to go inside here, so you get a little space so that it doesn't crash in. So so with that, you'll find a document which I'm emailing to you guys that is gonna be this. I'm also gonna send you the art, and so you're gonna have the Illustrator document, and then you're gonna have like the image that we actually gonna drop into MODO. Okay, and then let's get started now. So back on MODO, Oh, and actually, let me show you. Okay, back at MODO. Here we go. Let's go back. I'm gonna move this to the side. I'm gonna actually go to the document in which I had started the class box. I'm gonna turn this off for a minute. I'm gonna go to the front view, and then you're gonna see this back image item. We drop this in, you know, like normally, like what you do, what we've been doing for most of the class is just we drop the image in. The one thing I didn't do, which I should do for you guys, is we want to make sure that we find the middle in the center of this. So you see you have a die line here. So that you know, and I should have put that on the actual drawing earlier. You need to have like some sort of guidance so that you know where the middle is, because that's going to be important when you drop this image in. See, so you have the middle, and basically I'm gonna save this for you guys, and I'll save it in the image file, so when you drop it on, it'll be there. But for what I have going on, I'm just gonna keep moving since I already had this in here. And the reason why you're gonna need this, I mean, I know that when I'm working, I know that this has, let me just bring the brightness down, opacity, transparency, let's just bring this down a little bit so that we could see, maybe 50. So you see the cross. Maybe if let me turn off the image. We have let me move this over. So you have the Y and the X coming down, up and down. So you have the X going this way, Y up. So we want to make sure that we align the middle with the centerpiece in the box here. It just makes things a lot easier when we're building the model for this entire box. So once we say, I managed to, you know, I've done this so many times, I know exactly how to move it so that I don't have to worry about that. But in essence, the best thing to do is put that little guideline so that you just match this. So with that said, let's just go on step one. And I already went ahead and built the box, the flat box. And I'll basically, I think it'll be best if I just show you. So shading, what we have to do, right? Before I do it, I just want to explain what I did here. So I started out with a square here, and then I extended to the left all the way to the end to follow the shape, and then to the right here, and then I went up, and then I actually added these little separations in the middle. You know, you see this, how it separates from the front of the box to the lid, to the top, and the folds and all. And the reason I did that is because when you click tab, you want it to be able to look like the box all around, and you know, this edge is holding this middle edge and this one as well, and all around is, you know, it's a unified box. If you see here, let me just show you. So when you fold it, you want to be able to keep all those edges together. So let's build it. I'm going to show you. I mean, this is going to be step one, and then once we get through actually, you know, actually separating all these vertices and then polygons, and you see here just the way I done it here, we're going to go to step two. Step two is, right, see here, oh, let me show you. So one is going to have all the equal divisions all around, and in step two we're going to add what is called the folding edge on all the designated areas where there's going to be fold. So like you will not see it here because that's step one, we're just dividing everything. Step two, now you see this additional line coming across in this fold, so you didn't see it before there. Now you see it on two. So in here we're gonna fold this over. This is gonna fold down, so you're gonna have additional folds. See it on this side too. See? Now you get those folding lines. And the same thing in the bottom. See? And this is probably not making a lot of sense right now, but it will in a moment. I just want to kind of like throw it out there. And then step 3 will be actually folding everything. So let's just show you real quick. See, it's how everything starts to fold. And these are the little folding lines that we just added in step 2. One here, one there, and I have it on this side, but I haven't folded those. And we had it on this side. So these are just things to basically review with you guys. That is what we're going to be doing. All right, so let's just start with the one. And what we basically do is you get the cube here and just drag, follow the shape, just basically follow it, point to point, and then just make sure that there's 2 segments on X and Y. You see segment on when you go to the left hand side view, you see segments. Just click, put 2 and 2, and then space, and space bar releases. Okay, now I'm actually gonna keep this the same shade here so that you can see what we have. So you select these 2 edges, just click Z, move over, shift. We start like that, simple as that. Then we'll do it again. Make sure you line up to that specific line here. Space bar, Z again, click on the edge, extrude all the way out. Space bar, C again, click, bring this out to that edge. Once you get to that edge, click on scale, which is R, and bring it down, you know, right from this middle point till you see that it's matching. There you go. And yeah, this is it. And scale again, space bar. Now we'll do the same thing on the other side. Select this edge, this other edge, Z. Just move right over. Space bar. Right? So now we're populating pretty much the whole box. So we'll do this all the way to the top here. Go 1 step. Right? Space bar Z. Bring this up here. Or bring this just a hair. Even. That's good. Space bar. Now we're gonna do this one down here. 1, 2, Z. Bring it down. Space bar, Z again, for cloning. Let's scale this in. Alright. And then now we gotta do the flaps. You notice on the flap we can't start from this edge. So what we gotta do is we're gonna go and select these 2 polygons, Option C, right, for the loop slice. And we're just gonna add 3 counts, right? Just as you see here. Then we'll select this edge and we'll move it where this flap meets, and we'll do the same with this one. Okay, stop there. Same thing we do on this side. Option C. You're getting 3. Select this edge and just move it right to the end. Select this edge, move it right to the end, right to that. Now we'll get these 2 edges, Z, bring it up, scale, just enough. Move this over, space bar, select your vertice, select this point, move it right to it. Okay, same thing you do with these guys right here. Edge, edge, see, click on it, bring it down, scale, 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 move this to the far left, select your vertex here, select this far one, and move this to meet. Alright, so we just do that through the rest of them. Okay, so there you go. The bottom one here. Z. Bring this up right to the end. Scale. Bring it over. Okay. So now this is step one. This should be step one actually. Let me just hide all these other ones. Step 01. So as you can see now, what we've done is, in essence, is we build the actual box. We put some divisions, the middle divisions, all on them. Oh, we probably gotta do it on this one. We just gotta put a center division. Just keep it at 3. Because what we gotta do here, we're gonna need this little edge. And what we're gonna do is on every one of these panels, like just look at, I'm gonna show you real quick. Let me just go here real quick. Okay. Gosh, okay. So every one of these panels, if you see, based on our drawing, let's say this forms that panel, this forms the other one, and so on. So what we have to do is we have to create a division on each and every one of the panels. Let's start with the front, and then we'll go back to that panel and adjust. So each panel, let's say we select this whole entire line of polygon. You go option C, and we're just gonna focus on one count. You're gonna bring that all the way to the edge. You know, you're gonna leave a space, a very small space. It's let's say let's say 98%, just a little bit. And this is just gonna hold that edge, but we're gonna do that on the top, and it's gonna go all around the top, and we're gonna do that in the bottom here. But we gotta drag this knot down all the way to the bottom, right? So now you have a line of additional polygons right beneath the edge, and the one here too, a line of polygon right above the bottom edge. We'll do the same in this intersection. See? Bring it. And this one. Right? And you're like, why is putting a line there? And you know, and if you click tab, watch, I'm gonna show you something. See, you see, I just added this this edge on this side. I added on here. I didn't put anything on this flop or the bottom or even some of these, and you see how it's rounding. The reason it's rounding is because that there's no edge helping hold the box together. So what we're doing is trying to support the box so that when we do the sub patch, it's all tight And right now, that's what we're working on, making sure it's tight. Like if you go, you see like I just added this one, but we still gotta add in the bottom. Let's go back here. So you see how it's loose here. This line is picking up. This line is picking up, and this one too. So now, when we add the support on each side, so this side supports this whole entire flap. This side, this little polygon, and this whole entire line supports anything going down this bottom direction. So if you click tap now, watch. See, sharp here, sharp here, sharp there. Now you need one on this side too. See, a little bit here. And you need one right there. And we need it, that has to happen through the whole entire box before we start folding. So now if I click on tab, see this is sharper now. This whole entire unit is sharp, except for here. You see how it's separating the box, and it's because just like we put a set of polygons to support this side of the box, the left side, we want it on the front as well. So if you select these two polygons and option C, loop slice, bring one here and one on the opposite side. Right? Just as you see there. So again, now when I click on tab, watch. See how this whole entire panel looks really sharp, and this looks sharp. So that's what we gotta do through the whole entire box. It's not gonna take long, a few minutes. Once you get to know how to do this exactly, it takes no time. But it's, you have to understand why it's being done. So we're gonna do that with this one. Right, bring one all the way down just to match that. This has it already. This side has it. You see how there's nothing supporting this edge. So we want it all around, and then on both sides. So let's select these two. Add it there. And this to option C, and just move that all the way to the end. See? So now we have it here on this side, we have it on the other side. So when you click on tab, this is great. So this is all good. All right, we got it here, we got that. So that's great. So now what we're missing is, all right, so we got the tops here. Let's finish this one off. This one needs one right there. And this all option C on top. And it needs it on the right and left side of the flap. Right? Option C. Right? And now, remember we did these earlier? We gotta drag these. This has gotta be dragged. So this edge. And this also. Just enough room. Now these one on each side too. One there. And one on the other side. Option C, right? So now we just gotta do the bottoms. And this all will be step 2. Right? Bring it in a little bit. And do it again in the bottom. And I mean, this is all repetition stuff, which is great because, you know, it's like after doing this for a while, you're gonna option C. Let's bring this all the way up. This just helps hold it all together. Option C. Right. And you gotta do these on both of these. Let's do this intersection first, and then this bottom one. All right. Let's do this final one. Right, so now if I click on tab, everything should be kind of ready to, well, not ready to fold just yet, but at least to just, I just want to make sure that this edge is supported, all the edges are supported, so when we start folding, we have all we need. Okay, so the one thing we're missing is I always like to put a cross section right in the midpoint of each and one of these flaps. So option C, and make it to 50. Same thing with this bottom one. Option C, 50. These we don't have to, but just this big one and that big one, so that's good. That's just to adjust a little later. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add one additional edge everywhere this box is going to be full. All right, and then we're going to end this video and then work on folding the box. All right, on video 2. So these flaps, like this one, well, in general, and this is the front, right? So this is going to stay intact, and it's what's going to be the hero, is what's going to show the most, this side panel and this. But this is going to be folded in, this is going to be folded in, all of these, and they're going to be folded. This is going to be the back. So since this is going to be folded back, and this and that, so what we're doing is we want to make sure that we keep our front where the graphics is, which is from this point over, intact. So we don't want to mess with that. We want to make sure that stays put, so when we put all the graphics in, it looks beautiful. But the one thing we need is the top panel to fold down nicely too as well. So how do you fold this? So we have to add like a cut line or fold line, and that's going to be between, it's going to be right above the front panel. This two, you select these two, go option C, and make sure it's in 50%, and that's going to be our folding line. It's going to be a folding line here, and the flap next to it, right? This flap here, this flap right here, and we'll do that through the whole box. In here in the middle, this is where it's going to be our folding. And the same thing on this side. Option C, loop slice 50%, right? And then we have to do the same thing on this flap. This is going to fold in, and then the bottom here, this is going to fold back. Right, and then on this side as well. So now we'll be ready to let me make sure this bottom one, oh yeah, down here too, sometimes you forget. Make sure you review your box all around, and that it's actually set up just like you see here, because this is actually where we're going to start from video 2, in which we're going to be extruding the box so that we could have a little bit of a thickness. We're going to create UVs for the front and UVs for the back, so that we could actually map art in the front and map art in the back if you desire, or the inside of the box, so to speak. We're gonna fold it, and in video 3 we'll be able to texture everything and set it all up. Okay, so until video 2, and hope this actually it's a lot more fun than it's painful, because it's a lot of work and this is actually a lot of detail, so you really have to be focused when you work on this one. All right guys, we'll talk in the next video. Okay, bye.